Hello everyone. In this video, we do some objective question of Jude the Obscure, especially for PGT examinations. First question is, what item does Mr. Phillotson have trouble moving to Christminster? Mr. Phillotson is the school teacher of Mary Green and he is the favorite teacher of Jude. And while he is traveling from Christminster to Mary Green, what is the item that he has trouble moving to? So the options are an antique vase, a dining table, a large portrait of his father, and a piano. The answer is piano. Next question is, which of these best describe the village of Mary Green? First option is many of its older buildings having been torn down and replaced. It looks exactly as it did 200 years ago. It is a part of a Christminster urban sprawl and was founded fairly recently. D. The working class lives in the old corner of the village while the wealthier citizens live on the modernized east side. The answer is 1. Many of its older buildings of Mary Green have been torn down and replaced. There was an old church that was replaced and a new church has been made on its place on Gothic style. So answer is A. Question number 3 is, why does Jude live with Aunt Drusilla? Option is, his parents felt that Mary Green was a better place to raise a child than their home in the London slums. His parents died. His mother was insane. His mother was an unwanted teenager and gave him to her older sister to raise. The option is B. His parents died. Jude, the title character of Jude the Obscure, Jude is an orphan, and their parents had divorced, and later his mother drowned herself. So Jude is living with his auntie Drusilla, and in their family their marriage does not go well. Now let's come to the next question. Why does Farmer Trotham fire Jude? In the novel, Fire Trotham is the employer of Jude, first employer, where the Jude's work was to flee the crows from the field so that they won't eat the corn. So the answer is 1 number. He allowed the birds to eat some of the why did Farmer Trotham fire Jude? So Jude's work was to flee the crows from the cornfield. But Jude feels sympathetic towards the crow and feels that the farmer can afford to give crows some of the corn. So he let the crows eat some of the corn, and this is why Farmer Trotham beats him and fires him. So the answer is 1. He allowed the birds to eat some of the corn. 5th number question is, which famous city does Jude compare Christminster to when talking to the workmen? So he compares Christminster to Jerusalem. The answer is D. Next question number 6 is, what does physician Wilbert ask Jude to do in exchange for Latin and Greek grammar? First, help carry his wares from Mary Green to the surrounding villages. Help Wilbert evade investigation by the authorities, sell medicines, scare the birds away from the cornfield. Physician Wilbert is a quack doctor who has come to Mary Green to sell his medicines. He encounters Jude and he says that he has grammar books, Latin and Greek, his old grammar books of his, and Jude wants to learn this language. So Wilbert sees this and he says Jude that he will give him his Latin and Greek grammar book if he advertises his medicine for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, remember 2 weeks, in Mary Green, around Mary Green, the houses of Mary Green, and Jude does so. Jude advertises his medicine for two weeks. He takes the order, and when the physician Wilbert comes, he gives him the order. But physician Wilbert has forgotten Jude and he has not brought the books. So answer is C. Question is, what does physician Wilbert ask Jude to do in exchange for the Latin and Greek grammar? It is sell medicines. 7th number question is, who eventually get Jude his first Latin and Greek grammars? A. Aunt Ursula. B. Mr. Phillotson. C. Jude buys them himself. And fourth, physician Wilbert. Jude has helped his school teacher, Mr. Phillotson, to keep his piano in his auntie's storeroom. So when he is sending the piano back, he hides a note in the piano in which he asks his teacher if he can spare his old Latin and grammar books, and Phillotson sent it to him after a week. So Jude was given his first grammar book by his teacher, Mr. Phillotson. Answer is B. 8th number question is, what does Arabella throw at Jude when they first meet? Fish, book, a wet rag, a piece of meat. Arabella throw a piece of meat that strikes the ear of Jude, and it is the question is asked, it is genitalia of pig. So this is the answer is piece of pig meat. 9th number question is, what does Jude drink with Arabella at pub? Now Arabella starts to traps Jude into courting, and on Sunday they meet and they go on a bar, and there they drink beer. 10th number question is, who suggests that Arabella get pregnant out of her wedlock? Jude, her stepmother, her friends, her father. It is suggested by Arabella's friend that she should sham or fake her pregnancy so that Honorable Jude can be trapped into marriage, and this suggestion was given to her, Arabella, by her friends Sarah and Annie. Her friends' names, the name of her friends are Sarah, her friends whose name is Sarah and Annie. Sarah and Annie. Now let's come to the next question. Next question is, what does Arabella carry between her breast? So she carries an egg between her breast. Next question is, what accessory is Jude upset to find Arabella wearing? What is the accessory that Jude finds? So Arabella was wearing a hair extension to make her hair look bigger. So answer is A, hair extensions. 13 number question is, who informs Jude that Arabella purposely caused him into marriage? After the marriage with Arabella, Arabella fakes pregnancy, so Honorable Jude has to marry him. Later, after the marriage, even at the time of marriage, Jude feels that his career is destroyed. His Christminster dream and his dream of entering into the university and becoming a scholar has been smashed by the marriage. But still, he finds that it is an honorable thing. It was an honorable thing to marry Arabella because she was pregnant. But later, after the marriage, she says that pregnancy was just a mistake. She thought that it was pregnancy, but it was not. So Jude becomes miserable. When he was once going, he finds their friend Arabella's friends talking, and he eavesdrops and he listens, and he listens that it was a plan, it was an intrigue to trap Jude into marriage. So it was informed to Jude by one of the Arabella's friend. It was actually not informed, it was overheard. Next question is 14. What animal does Jude have trouble slaughtering? So it is a pig. Callow was a person who was called to butcher the pig, but he did not come. So at that moment, Jude has to butcher the pig, and while butchering the pig, Jude wants to butcher the pig instantly by giving him less pain, but Arabella is one who wants to kill pig slowly so that meat can be more valuable. So the answer is pig. 15th number question is, what does Arabella do that finally provokes Jude to be physically violent with her? And option is, she admits that she lied about her pregnancy. She throws his book on the floor. She refuses to move to Christminster with him. She insults Aunt Drusilla. When Jude gets to know about Arabella's intrigue, Arabella's trap for him to indulge him into the marriage, so he confronts her with the news, and in anger Arabella throws the book on the floor, and this angers Jude. So answer is B. She throws the book on the floor, and here in retaliation Arabella tells the family history of Jude, and Arabella informs him that in Jude's family marriage do not go well and it always ends with divorce. So the next question is, what does Arabella reveal to Jude about his family history? Answer is B, that the marriages in Jude's family tend to disintegrate. When Jude is told so, Jude goes to his auntie Drusilla and asks about it, and Auntie Drusilla informs Jude that indeed his auntie, his parents, all were divorced. 17. Question number 17 is, where does Arabella move with her parents? She moves to Australia with her parents. 18 number question is, who is Jude most excited to visit when he goes to Christminster? Jude has a cousin whose picture he found at his auntie, who is as scholarly inclined, whose mind is as scholarly inclined as Jude, who also wants to be intellectual and be learned, and it is her cousin, and whose name is Sue Bridehead. So the answer is Sue Bridehead. Options are Arabella, Mr. Phillotson, the Dean of the University, Sue Bridehead. So we always have confusion between Mr. Phillotson and Sue Bridehead. So answer is Sue Bridehead. He wanted to meet Sue Bridehead, but Auntie Drusilla warns him not to meet his cousin. 19th number question is, how would Jude's stone masonry ability be different if he had been trained in London? So if he had been trained in London, Jude knows that he cannot, because he does not have a lot of wealth, so he cannot enter the university instantly. So he has to have some another skill. So he tries stone masonry. He becomes a stone mason. So here's the question: if he was trained in London instead of Mary Green, so what different would it have created? So they would be more specialized. His skill of stone masonry would be more specialized. 20 number question is, why does Aunt Drusilla object to Sue's job? Options are, she thinks that it will lead Sue to associate with immoral people. She believes women should not work. She believes it's idolatrous. D, it requires more education than Aunt Drusilla thinks women should have. The answer is C, she believes it's idolatrous. 21 number question is, Sue designs object for what kind of institution? She designs the object for churches. Which of these is not one of the places where Jude encounters Sue before they officially meet? Jude goes to Christminster. There he began to get a stone masonry job at church building. But Aunt Drusilla has asked Jude not to meet his cousin Sue. So he keeps on seeing her, but do not go and encounter her. At last it is Sue who comes to meet him. So what is the place where Jude does not encounter or see Sue before they officially meet? Options are greengrocer's, church, her shop, the workyard. Answer is the greengrocer. 23 number question is, which Roman goddess does Sue buy a sculpture of? Options are Diana, Juno, Venus and Minerva. Sue buys the sculpture of two goddesses, first Venus and second Apollo. God Apollo Apollo, and C number Venus. So the answer is Venus. 24th number question is, how does Sue get Roman statues past her landlady? When she buys the statues, so Venus, the statue of Venus and Apollo were the pagan gods, and in Christian Victorian England, pagan gods, keeping the idol of the pagan gods was not allowed. So her landlady is angry, and when her landlady asks her what statues she has, she claims that these are the statues of saints. So she lies and keeps the statue to her room. She places both the statue, Apollo's statue and Venus' statue, and light a lamp between it, and above that the picture of Jesus Christ hanging is also placed. When later her landlady finds it, she smashes the portrait. So how does Sue get the Roman statue past her landlady? She claims that they are the statues of saint. A number is the answer. 25th number question is, which of these is one of the reasons Jude is reluctant to pursue a relationship with Sue? Among these, what is the reason? Because in their family, the marriage relationship never go well. So the answer is D. People in his family have a history of bad romances. Thank you. In the next video we do the set 2.